All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and this was from our tasting to celebrate the life of Barry Alberts, one of our fallen soldiers here in the wine industry, and we're trying to raise a little bit of money for his kids to make sure they have what they need. And thank you everyone for showing up. I haven't got the exact total on what we brought in yet here, but it looks like it's close to about $1,000. So toothbrushes, underwear, socks. I mean, I don't know what you get for $1,000 anymore, but we got a couple events going on, and the people still sending checks in. And hey, if you want to contribute, there's information on how to contribute here on this offer. We had Alejandro from Strategic Imports provide all the wines, and he has got a great book of small producers from all over the world, like this Bodegas Sur Los Andes. And, you know, Torrontés is not my favorite grape, but this one's got a really nice, pretty bouquet here. Pineapple, ginger spice, pretty floral notes, fairly sweet. On the palate, a little light spritz, something that Torrontés has got when it's very young and fresh. And some of that floral quality, some of that perfuminess, but not overdone. Really rich fruit here. Really pretty floral notes there. $12 a bottle, nice little value. Anyways, the Bodegas Sur Los Andes Malbec up next, Gran Reserva, which means absolutely nothing in Argentina. You can put Gran Reserva on a wine. You know, in some countries, Reserva means something, but in the New World, it really doesn't mean anything. It's surely a marketing term. And, you know, probably the older vines, it's probably a better selection, maybe a little better oak treatment, but this wine really big and rich, dark berry fruit, blackberry jam, dark spices, licorice, dark chocolate, black earth, really big and chewy on the tongue with a good amount of that sweet blackberry liqueur-like fruit, a nice hand of toasty oak spice, dark chocolate, licorice at the end, big and chewy, a little bit sweet, but very good little wine for $21 if you like that kind of thing. All right, the Viega Naum Alvarinho from Rias Baixas. And this is your typical Alvarinho, a little bit of that briny character. You get lime, citrus, a little bit of dried kind of hay almost, kind of earthy note to the nose. Light and refreshing on the tongue, though. Texture of skim milk and that briny, minerally character, leaving the tongue salivating for food at $15. A nice, refreshing white. And then the Valcavados. Ribera del Duero. This is 100-year-old vines, 100% Tempranillo. Really beautiful bouquet here. Dark cherry liqueur-like fruit, dark mocha spice, dried meat-like aromas. Really nice complexity here. A big wine on the tongue, almost liqueur-like in concentration. That dark mocha and meaty notes coming through on the finish. Very long, very fine tannins. A firm hand of acidity here holding things together at $64.50, a big bottle of Ribera del Duero. All right, the Senhora Alvarinho Vinho Verde from Portugal. You don't see many great Portuguese wines, but this guy's got a very good book of Portuguese wine. This wine, very light, almost gives you like the feeling of effervescence on the tongue. You get that lime citrus, a little seashell kind of minerality, leaving the tongue salivating for food. A good little light, refreshing white here for $15. Then a Pinot Grigio from Ohio, Ferrante. Who the hell sells Ohio wine in Florida? Let me tell you, this wine won Best of Show at the American Fine Wine Competition. I should mention Sherry Gurman. She's the one that put this event together for Barry. And, you know, I just don't get it, man. This wine's a little sweet. Pinot Grigio tends to have a little residual in it, in the examples you have in Alsace. But it's got some nice pear and peach fruit on the nose, kind of shrimp-like briny note here. And a bit of sweetness on the tongue, but really short finish, that briny, shrimpy note coming out the end. Just odd wine to me. I don't know how you could give that Best of Show. It wasn't this vintage, obviously. Anyways, the Saddleback Cellars Pinot Blanc, on the other hand, wow, what a ripe and delicious wine on the nose. Apples, pears, white peaches, pretty floral notes. Really appealing bouquet of aromas. And on the palate, that lovely, rich, ripe tree fruit showing through. The pretty floral aromas. Really nicely balanced. Solid core of fruit here. Excellent example of Pinot Blanc from our friend Niels Vange, one of the top winemakers from the old school here for $27. And then the El Rey Robledo from, it says Sonoma here, but I'm pretty sure this was Lake County this wine came from. Anyways, a good amount of tobacco, spice, fresh like earth, loamy notes to the dark currant and plum fruit, cedar, spice. Really nice complexity on the nose. Showing a little bit of evolution, but still it's a nice juicy primary fruit there on the tongue, black and red berry fruit, silky smooth tannins, and really echoing that tobacco and cedar spice on the finish at $37.50. That's what we had to drink for our friend Barry Alberts. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.